Well, if you're watching tonight and thinking, man, it's cold, it's wet, it is nasty in Laramie. This was yesterday, the Vidavoo Recreation Area just outside Laramie. Spectacular country here in the high plains just short of the Rocky Mountains in eastern Wyoming.
It's a lot better than what we have right now.
It is. The conditions have been downgraded since yesterday afternoon. The wind has died down a lot. It's 5 miles an hour at the moment. Shotgun on 2nd and 9. Kirkgard going toward the end zone, and it's intercepted. And Utah State is going to bring it back. That's to Shane Hines to the 30, to the 35, and finally tackled at about the 39-yard line. The Aggies defense on the first play of the fourth quarter comes up with a huge play.
Well, you know, they had so many things go right on that play. Protection, got a guy open, but this is underthrown. He had him out there. He had Claiborne out there, but the ball was underthrown, and a good pickoff by Hines. But the play started off so well for Wyoming. They picked up the blitz, got Claiborne open, but could not get the ball there.
So the Aggies come up with a turnover, which has really been a specialty for their defense this year, and that's a big one with Wyoming driving again. Now a little pitch pass to Sharp. It will be a forward pass for a negative gain, loss of a yard. More good Wyoming defense. Their defense has been much better since the first couple drives.
Two-time made a very nice play there, stepping up, making a great form tackle.
I mean, Rod, if you include that last play, which we will, that's 29 plays run by Wyoming in Utah State territory. 29 snaps in Aggies territory. They have 3 points. 2nd and 12. Little pitch. Left side running, and Hill keeps his balance, gets across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. 26 turnovers forced on the year from Utah State. Only TCU has forced more turnovers.
Defenses that are not only sound but can take the ball away from you are the best ones in the country.
And it's why lots of the coaches we've talked to in the Mountain West will say this is the best defense in the Mountain West Conference. Still no third down conversions in the game. Myers looking to run, and it'll depend on the spot. He got very close to the first down, and I think he got it.
Yeah, I think he got it. There was a missed tackle along the way, which allowed him to pick up the first down.
That is the first third down conversion of the game for Utah State, the team that's leading by 2 touchdowns.
You know, they really did keep Utah State in check. You take away the punt return, the 80-yard punt return from JoJo Natson. You know, it's only 1 touchdown you've given up, and that touchdown was a 66-yard run by Natson on the fly sweep.
Yeah, it'd be a 10-3 game without the punt return for a score. Now Butler in motion, fake to him, fake to Hill. Myers pressured, going down. It's a sack. More on the sideline with Allison.
Well, that's not what Matt Wells wants to see. He told his offense how important it is to score on this drive. He came up to them before they took the field and he said, look, I told you at the half, you're only going to get 5 more possessions in this game. You've gotten 2, you've gone 0 for 2, but so have they. Right now it's served, but this next timeout is imperative. We have to get a touchdown. Get that in your mind.
Well, it is true. At 5:12 on the clock in the first quarter is when Utah State last put points on the board. It's been a long while. The handoff, and again, Wyoming reads it beautifully in the backfield for another tackle for loss. This time the linebacker, Devin Harris.
Well, they've really just become a little bit out of character, Wyoming. They're bringing more pressure. Watch all the attacking guys coming up. This is not normally what they do, but they bring guys right off the bat attacking the line of scrimmage.
It sets up a 3rd and 17. Myers under center. Myers play fake to Hill. In the pocket, looking downfield, throws downfield, caught by Ronald Butler for a huge first down and a great delivery from the freshman Kent Myers.
Wow, that was such a soft coverage. It was unbelievable. There's a guy deep and a guy short, and Myers puts his ball right in between them.
26 yards on 3rd and 17. First catch of the night for Ronald Butler, and now into Wyoming territory.
You know, you got to make a play on that ball. That ball's in the air a long time, and you're in zone coverage. Wow.
Well, not good for Wyoming. Huge for the Aggies. They'll pitch it back to Butler. Butler, who can throw the ball, is going to throw the ball, and tipped and incomplete, almost intercepted. Well, he had a man, Hunter Sharp, out there, but Butler being pursued, throwing on the run, just not quite enough to get it over the defense.
Yeah, the freshman Robert Priester comes over and gets this. There you see the flea flicker, trickeration, but Priester was on the far left side and hustles all the way to the far hash mark to get his hands on that. That's not his play. He's just hustling to get involved.
Well, he deserves a lot of credit for that. It was underthrown. The man was wide open, but still, that was a tremendous effort. Second down for the Aggies. Not a bad effort from Utah State. Little pitch to JoJo Natson for a short gain of a couple yards. Lucas Waka, you can see why they like this sophomore from Texarkana, Texas.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive play. Again, first and second down. Wyoming kind of going against their character, bringing a little pressure to try and get the third and long. They got it now again. Now, are they going to play the same soft zone coverage they did last time? Will they be more aggressive with it?
3rd and 7 for Utah State. They've converted 2 on this drive. Myers setting up the screen play, and read again by Wyoming. Harris, the tackle for a loss, and I think if there were thoughts of a long field goal, that may well have taken Utah State out of their field goal range.
Yeah, from where that ball is spotted, you're looking at a 52-yard attempt there.
A 5-yard loss, and well, and they're sending out the long field goal kicker Jake Thompson, like they're thinking about trying this one. So I think that's what they're going to do.
Now, on a night like this, you know, that ball might not get up as quickly.
A 52-yard try.
Utah State.
Utah State, though, may want to think about this when they call a timeout. We'll be right back to Laramie. Dave Fleming, Rod Gilmore, Allison Williams back here in Laramie. 17-3 fourth quarter score, 10 minutes to go. Utah State with the lead and a decision to make here. And after taking the timeout, they've changed their mind and the Aggies are going to punt the ball.
Well, this is the right call. I didn't think the risk reward was there for a 52-yard attempt that might get blocked and put Wyoming in a good spot.
So they will try to pin the Cowboys deep. A high punt, fair catch signal, and made at the 10-yard line. And I do think that was the right decision to make. Well, we've been talking all game long about the Saturday slate. Notre Dame in Tempe. It'll be 89 degrees, forecast says. Wow. At kickoff time, 3:30 Eastern, the Irish looking for a signature win against the top 10 Sun Devils.
That's going to be a tough environment. Very hot for the Irish.
And around our Friday focus, how about Notre Dame getting on the plane, getting down to the Valley of the Sun with our crew. You see Sean, Todd, and Chris talking with Todd Graham. That will be the site, Sun Devils Stadium in Tempe. And you can bet, whatever the temperature is, it'll be rocking. That is a huge
Are you kidding?
game.
Oh, man. Those folks down there in Tempe, they're excited about their Sun Devils. They're rolling.
Irish haven't gotten on many planes this year. That's their second true road game of the season. It's November. Colby Kirkgard with all kinds of time. Heaving one deep and caught! Caught inside Utah State territory by Jake Mulhart. The big play in the pass game for the big target for the Cowboys.
There was a flag on the play. I think there was pass interference that's going to be called, but Mulhart matched up with Hines.
Number 17 defense. The penalty is declined. The play resulted in the first down.
Decline the penalty, take the 53-yard gain.
Yeah, that might be the right call there.
Well, Mulhart, he has made some plays in this one.
He's been the receiver. He's been the guy to step up and make things happen when they haven't gotten as much as hoped for out of Gentry and Roofran.
That is their first play of 20 yards plus in this game. Oh, back into Utah State territory with the play fake. Kirkgard throws. He's got his man open. Caught. First down inside the 20, inside the 15. Finally, Jalen Claiborne pushed out of bounds. But here come the Cowboys.
Big spark. You get a big play from Mulhart. Crowd gets into it. You come back with another play. Now, this is where they struggle. This is where they've been hit with the penalties. and been unable to run the ball in there. I don't think they can run the ball in against this defense. I think they have to throw it into the end zone.
It's not 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10. They can get a first down at the 2. They will bring that tight end in motion. Play fake to Hill. Kirkgard rolling, throwing, and good coverage, incomplete. Now Maulard is asking for a flag, and there was contact there. But good coverage by the linebacker Michael Okonkwo. 2nd down.
Like the idea. I don't think they can run it in down here, but getting your quarterback outside and trying to throw it. Now they were both fighting, hand fighting. You saw that there was a little grab there at the end, but once you both engage in it, the officials aren't going to call it.
2nd and 10 for Wyoming. Hadn't had a big play on offense all game. They went 53 and then 25 yards on back-to-back plays to get down inside the red zone. Another play fake. Pressure coming, and the ball is tipped up and intercepted on the deflection. Utah State with pressure, and they come up with another turnover. B.J. Larson grabbed it, but guess who made the play? Their star, number 53, Zach Vigil.
Well, when there's a play to be made, he is somewhere around it. There is no doubt about that. Zach Vigil gets his hands up, knocks that ball up. Larson makes the play. Watch this. Gets the big left paw on it.
Immediate timeout.
And B.J. Larson comes up with the interception. A walk-on tips it. A walk-on intercepts it. Utah State gets the ball back.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Jimmy John's Great Sandwich Delivery and in part by Honda. Check out the growing family of Honda ATVs and side-by-sides at powersports.honda.com.
Okay, last night, students showing off some moves. That's the University of Wyoming Cowboy Country Swing Club every Thursday on campus in the Student Union.
That's a workout.
That big time. Don't ask me to get out there. 17-3 Utah State getting the ball back. Another turnover deep in Aggies territory. That Utah State defense comes up with another big play. Handoff Lawan Hunt out into the open. Breaking tackles Hunt to midfield inside Cowboys territory. And the game has just changed so dramatically in the span of 2 plays from scrimmage.
Great double team right at the point of attack by the center, and the guard opened up a huge hole. And then the other freshman, Hunt, takes over.
32 yards for Lawan Hunt. Kid from Fort Lauderdale who's come to Logan and has really taken over the main role as the tailback for Utah State. They've had injuries at quarterback, injuries at running back too. Natson into the backfield. They hand it off to JoJo Natson. A little stutter move, and look at the quickness. JoJo Natson down the sideline to the 20.
How did he do that?
That looked impossible.
He looked like he was jammed up over there, and all of a sudden he did a Houdini and appeared somewhere else. Watch him. He loses the guy there. Now here's the part where you just go, what happened? He finds a little crease and gets an extra 10-12 yards out of it.
Made a 23-yard gain when Wyoming, I think, was ready to tackle him right at the line of scrimmage. So 2 plays, and Utah State down to the 20 of Wyoming. Now the fumble not handled properly. The snap was dropped, but Myers jumps on the loose ball, so no turnover, but a loss of a yard.
Well, that's a product of not spending a lot of time under center. They do a lot of stuff out of the shotgun. And remember, this is a guy who was 4th string and was running the scout team. So he hasn't had a lot of time to take snaps under center. I'm really impressed, though, with the way he's performed tonight.
Another strong performance by the true freshman, pressed into service. 3 different Utah State starting quarterbacks have been hurt and lost for the year. He's number 4. Hunt down to the 15. Took a hit at the end of that play. It'll be 3rd down for the Aggies.
But going back to Myers, I mean, just think about that. A guy spends almost the entire season not part of the game plan. I mean, he's practicing the other team's plays. And then late in the year, you go, hey, you got to come be our guy. You kidding me?
You know, a good player in Dallas, just outside Dallas, recruited to be the quarterback maybe of the future. But you got Chucky Keaton, you got Darrell Garrettson, who's a very accomplished backup. Hey, kid, come to campus. We'll redshirt you, learn the offense. Now he's playing in big games, and Myers straight ahead running the quarterback, keeps it and gets the first down.
So 2 freshmen leading this drive for Utah State.
And you look at that clock, Rod, 6:44 and rolling. Utah State is trying to put this game away right here.
Well, and you see the Wyoming defensive players, hands on hips, you know, not the same body language they had on the last 2 series.
The clock is stopped.
Rolling on the field as the ball carrier advanced the ball for a first down. The spot on the previous play is under further review.
They're going to look at the spot, and it was a big spot because it converted a third down for the Aggies. So they're going to take a look upstairs, and we'll see if we can check and determine ourselves whether this should be a first down or not. Myers, did that knee stay off the turf? Well, I think the ball was right about at that,
just across the line there.
10-yard line, yeah. And the knees down and say right there. Is it all the way to the 20? It's close.
No, it's very close
to the 10. Rather.
That's a different angle for you, though.
Down right there, I would say.
And so maybe the ball swung a little bit after his knee touch. Yeah, that's. I don't know that you got enough there to overrule it. Remember, you need indisputable video evidence to overturn the call on the field. There's the knee down right there. Okay, so there's the knee, but from that angle you can't see the ball, but it wasn't on the ground. You know, the ball was in the air from that angle. We were blocked off from the ball there.
Yeah,
so there's your knee, there's the ball.
I mean, it's not like he lunges way ahead, a couple feet maybe, but I mean, they spotted him right at the 10. I think it was a good spot.
I think with that last shot, there you see it again. Well, you can't see the ball from that angle. That's the problem there. We know his knee was down, and we know the ball was not inside the 10, but I couldn't tell from either one of those angles where it was.
Yeah, and all he had to do was get to the. He didn't have to get in. The ball is not spotted inside the 10.
Yeah,
and right at the 10 is good enough for a first down.
So I'd say spotting it inside the 10 is not the right spot. So we know the knee is down, but you can't see the ball there. So I don't know, from that angle, where is that ball? At the 10 or just outside the 10?
I'm with you. I mean, I think it's, as of right now, the call on the field, they spotted it at the 10, and I think it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're looking at this over and over.
And it's a big play. It would be fourth down. The Aggies would maybe have to decide whether to kick a field goal or go for it deep in Wyoming territory. So it's a significant call, but I think they got the call right.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough that I've seen to overturn it.
Yeah, at minimum, whether they got the call right or not, I don't see anything indisputable.
I see the knee. I just don't see where the ball is.
Yep.
And there's the knee. And see, from this angle, I can't see the ball. I know it's not at the inside the 10, but I don't know where you spotted before that.
Yeah. So they're taking their time. Alan Eck, the head referee, talking upstairs to the review officials. So now we get the ruling.
After further review, the ball carrier's left elbow touched the ground while the ball was at the 10.5-yard line, where it will be 4th down and a half yard.
Man, and
left elbow. I got the knee. I didn't get the elbow.
And I saw the elbow, but I thought the elbow was down about simultaneous with the knee. And I'm surprised they did that.
I was focused on the knee. Where's the elbow? Let's see the elbow.
Elbow comes down. See, to me, right when the knee's down.
Yeah, I think that knee was down before the elbow. To me, though, it's how do you spot that ball?
You can't. I mean, that.
Yeah, knee's down, elbow's not down. So it's the knee. So we were right looking at the knee.
I still don't know how you know for sure the ball's not already at the 10-yard line.
I think you're sort of guessing by trying to piece it. You're saying, well, it's in the air, so it's somewhere around here.
So Wyoming, maybe a break, and some very hardy young Cowboys fans hoping that maybe that can help Wyoming stay in this game.
Now, why wouldn't you just kick the field goal here?
I would, personally. They're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Utah State. Their second charge.
I bet that's what they're going to do. We'll find out when we come back to Laramie with Utah State in the lead. Well, Utah State already up 2 scores with 6:07 to go. Took a timeout, and they've decided to attempt a field goal. Nick Diaz, the kicker, from 28 yards. Diaz. Make it a 17-point lead for Utah State. Good hold, kick on the way, and it is perfect. So that's the right decision. The Aggies march down the field, and Matt Wells is pumped, the head coach of Utah State. His Aggies on the road with a 20-3 lead. 6:04 to go. And Matt Wells, so much adversity this year for Utah State, still a championship contender in the Mountain West. Chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues at Phoenix International Raceway. It's the final race in the Eliminator round. The Quicken Loans Race for Heroes 500 at Phoenix Sunday at 2 on ESPN.
Can we all just get along? Must they fight after every race?
It's just serious.
Come on. Although I'm going to tune in to see if they do throw punches.
A little extra drama. Maybe some of those Irish and Sun Devils fans will make their way over to the racetrack on Sunday after the big game in Tempe tomorrow. Touchback on the kickoff, so Wyoming only 6:04 to go, down 20-3 here at home. And Utah State churning their way towards another win. This is as of this moment. If they win this game, they would be 4-1 in league. They would be 7-3 overall, qualified for a 4th consecutive bowl game, which has never happened in their program's history, but a real dogfight for the Mountain Division Championship and a chance to play for the conference title.
They've already played Colorado State.
A close loss. That's right.
They still have Boise State remaining. They're going to need some help.
They do.
They're going to win out.
Because of that head-to-head loss to Colorado State. If Utah State finishes running the table, that would mean they would have to beat Boise in Boise, which would not be easy. But if they do it, then they need Colorado State to lose a game because they lose that head-to-head tiebreaker. Colorado State is a very good team. Well, Wyoming's handed the ball off, so keeping the ball on the ground, down by 17 with just under 6 minutes to go. So here's the remaining schedule for the Aggies.
Well, they'll be okay on those next 2. It's that last one that makes you go, I don't know.
And it sets up to be a huge game, Rod, because, look, we have this provision in the new era of the college football playoff where the so-called group of 5, those non-Power 5 conferences, the Mountain West is included in that, guaranteed a spot, at least one spot in the New Year's 6 big bowl games.
So right now, today, we'd be talking about Colorado State, Marshall, which is undefeated, and possibly East Carolina.
Yeah,
possible.
And I think Boise State and Utah State can still feel like, depending on what happens, that they are in that mix.
I think whoever wins the Mountain West has an argument.
Kirkgard on 3rd and 2, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down for Wyoming. Well, just as of now, sort of as an exercise, projections for those New Year's 6, the 2 semifinal playoff games, Florida State, Auburn, Mississippi State, Oregon. That's how it would set up as of now. But then those other 4 New Year's 6 games and that spot with Marshall in it, the guaranteed spot for a group of 5 champion.
Yeah, we're just projecting that as of today. Don't write it in ink.
Yeah, and definitely just a projection. And Marshall's strength of schedule is not good. Well, it's 4th and 2. Wyoming is going for it. Hill gets the carry, and Brian Hill gets the first down, but I don't know. Could be another penalty.
Or 2.
Or 2 of them against Wyoming, which has sort of been the story of their night. I think it's going to be a hold.
Holding, number 77, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 4th down.
Connor Raines, he's committed a couple big holding penalties in this game.
Well, how about 9 penalties for 85 yards for Wyoming tonight.
Craig Bowl not happy, and they're going to punt the ball away. This is a Wyoming team that scored 45 points on the road last week. They had almost 700 yards of offense last week against a talented Fresno State team.
Big win for the program.
Huge win. And 3 points tonight against Utah State. Does tell you something about this Aggies defense. Fair catch. Natson holds on to it. 5:06 to go, and Utah State gets the ball back. The Big Ten matchup we have been talking about all night long. They got to wait all day tomorrow. 8 Eastern, Saturday. Ohio State, Michigan State game day is there in the morning time. Now, we've been talking about the playoff and all the shuffling. Does the winner of this game have an argument with a signature win to be one of those top 4 teams?
Yes, if the winner is Michigan State.
I see.
If the winner is Ohio State, I don't think so. I think it's going to be hard for the Buckeyes to overcome that loss to Virginia Tech and a not so difficult schedule.
Yeah, you know, they have played so well since that loss, and they've been steamrolling teams. But Ohio State, I mean, Virginia Tech has not played well at all since then. And that fact, if the Hokies were having a real good year, maybe you sort of say, well, kind of a fluky loss, whatever.
But with Michigan State, you get to point to Oregon, and you say, well, they went on the road to Eugene early in the season, lost to an Oregon team that very well could be the Pac-12 champ. That's much more impressive than an Ohio State loss to Virginia Tech at home.
Yep, much more.
So I think Michigan State is the only realistic possibility for the Big Ten to get into the Final Four.
Yeah, it would take chaos for Ohio State to stay at 1 loss and have them be one of those top 4 teams.
We could get chaos tomorrow.
We could. That's not out of the question. Handoff here, and it's Kennedy Williams with the carry. So our college football playoff rankings brought to you by Capital One. This is how, and these are the actual playoff rankings, second rankings released earlier this week. This is how it shakes out.
6 and 7 will play tomorrow. 9 and 10 will play. And Michigan State will face Ohio State. And how about Oregon on the road, Alabama on the road? Tough games.
Yeah, I mean, those are on the road against ranked teams in 2 places. Salt Lake City and Baton Rouge, it can be very difficult.
I just don't know that Utah has enough offense. Rez Anderson out, their great wide receiver.
Another handoff for the Aggies. Joe Hill on his feet on 3rd down. He'll be stopped short of the first. Aggies very conservative, as you would understand. Wyoming will burn a timeout here to stop the clock.
The one thing Utah can do is bring a lot of pressure on Mariota, and if he can do that, could be a game.
Maybe a chance. Timeout here in Laramie. Utah State getting ready for another win. The moonrise over the high plains of Wyoming, and the Cowboys at home. Disappointing performance, I think, for Wyoming. Down 20-3, albeit against a very good Utah State team.
Yeah, and I think they were hoping to get another big win back-to-back and really set themselves up for a bowl game.
Instead, it's Utah State, which is looking to become bowl eligible with a win, and that's looking fairly strong here tonight. Let the clock wind, and down at inside the 15 with 3:15 to go. They have never in their program's long football history played in 4 consecutive bowl games. With a win here tonight, they will be bowl eligible. They've played in 3 in a row, and I have to think there's going to be a spot for Utah State.
I think so, and you know who's proud about that? Gary Anderson,
he is.
Head coach of Wisconsin.
He is.
Turned the program over to this young man and just watched him do a great job, and they chat with each other every week. I'm sure that Coach Anderson has kept tabs on this game at this time.
Matt Wells, Rod, sorry to interrupt you there, is one of the youngest coaches in all college football, sort of mentored under Gary Anderson, and really got things rolling. But you do have to give this young staff credit for keeping it rolling, which doesn't always happen. And a big-time coach leaves the program. Kirkgard with the scramble. But Gary Anderson, you can understand, did a great job in Madison. I think he was reluctant to leave. He loved being in Logan with this Utah State program.
Couldn't pass up going to Wisconsin.
The guy, Matt Wells, who was quarterback for the Aggies, cut his teeth as an assistant coach in several other spots, but came back as an assistant under Gary Anderson. And there wasn't a lot of hesitation from Utah State. When Gary took that job, I think they had already identified Matt as the next guy, and he has done a great job. Under 3 minutes to go. Second down at 2 for the Cowboys. Pressure comes. Kirkgard hit as he throws. Incomplete. And we've said it a couple times tonight, but I think it's worth repeating. The coaches deserve a huge amount of credit if you're on your 4th starting quarterback of a single season and you're winning games in your league on the road with your 4th string quarterback as a starter. That's impressive.
You can't typically get out of the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage with your 3rd string quarterback.
And not only that, they've got this kid, Kent Myers, prepared to where he's made 2 starts now, including this game. He has 4 incompletions total in 2 starts.
And he's protected the football. He's made smart decisions. The moment hasn't been too big for him on the road. He's done a really nice job.
Number 2. And look, the Aggies aren't doing all the things that they would be doing with Chucky Keaton at the helm, or even Darryl Garrettson, a very talented backup, but they're tailoring this offense now to a young kid who has stepped up. Well, Wyoming, why not? Going for it on 4th down, 4th and 2. They hand the ball off, and they could hardly do that because number 91 was in the backfield. Tremendous defense again from Utah State. This time, Siwa Taufa, the sophomore from California, and that will do it. Aggies get the ball back, and basically they can end this game. Look at that.
Yeah, they had their chances. 32 plays in Utah State territory. A couple turnovers, 3 punts.
That's hard to do. 32 times you snap the ball in the opponent's territory.
How about the penalties also?
Huge.
Crazy.
In that part of the field. And that will be very frustrating for Wyoming. They had chances in this game. This could have been a much closer, much more dramatic game.
Well, it felt like it at halftime with Wyoming getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter. They were only 2 possessions down, and they really hadn't played well. And you had the sense that one drive was going to change the game for them, but they just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep. And the Aggies do deserve some credit, too, because especially here in the second half, those 2 turnovers came deep in Utah State territory when it looked like Wyoming was going to change the game. Getting in the end zone, they could not do it. Former walk-on turned star captain Zach Vigil, a big part of that. Aggies will get the 1st down, which means they can now end the game by taking a knee. We'll see if that's what they decide to do. There is Zach Vigil. I think that's your Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Still some football to be played, but
he seems to make a play that is a difference maker in the game every week. He made the play down here when Wyoming was driving to score to knock the ball up in the air. That was picked off by B.J. Larson, and that really kind of ended Wyoming's threat for the night.
Look at those numbers. 104 tackles on the year, 14 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. As a middle linebacker, the huge play to cause the turnover in this game with the tip ball. A guy who was just basically not recruited by anybody.
Unbelievable.
And has turned into a star for Utah State. Kind of a signature part of their program. And it's an impressive program right now they've got going on in Logan.
Well, I think they will wind up in a bowl. They should wind up in a bowl this year. And who's to say that they don't get lucky and wind up in the Mountain West Conference Championship game.
And after that, who knows? They could be playing on New Year's Day. I mean, things could change for this Aggies team because they, in November, have been so good these last few years, and they do it again here tonight. Not an easy place to come play in Laramie in the bad weather with a true freshman quarterback. And the Aggies get it done. They beat the Cowboys 20-3.
Got a lot of real good help by JoJo Natson at the beginning of the ball game. That made all the difference.
Couple big plays and some stout big play defense, and that's a good formula for Utah State. Final score 20-3 for Rod Gilmore. We loved having you on Friday night. Allison Williams, Dave Fleming saying so long. Sports Center coming up next.
Everybody goes where everybody knows.